wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't even...
Y'all, how we doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to episode 79 of the Fourth Down Forum podcast. Now, what are we going to be covering on today's episode? I am so glad y'all asked. As y'all can tell by the attire, the setup here, this is going to be a basketball episode, which I know y'all are like, D, you rarely cover basketball on the channel. I'm trying to get better at that, you know. I'm not going to promise you we're going to do every single round, you know, round one, round two, the Western, the Eastern Conference, but I will give you this much before we get into it. I do have round one in front of me, so I did just kind of contradict myself, but you live and you learn. We will be doing an NBA Finals episode because that's one of the big ones that I try to do every year. You know, I try to give y'all a Super Bowl preview, NBA Finals preview, start of season. You know how it goes if you're here. And if you're new here, welcome. Episode 79, NBA Playoff Pod Predictions. So, you got the play-in first and foremost, which out of the West, we'll start with the West, then go to the East. The Warriors and the Clippers will play. The winner will play the loser of the Suns Kings for the 8th seed. Oklahoma City and the Thunder, they have the 1 seed, which is not surprising because they have been dominating the game of basketball for the past couple of seasons, if we're being honest. You know, they got SGA out there. They got a talented roster all around, if I'm being 100% honest. So they have the 1 seed. You got my 4 seed Lakers, who very well could be Luka-less and Austin Reeves-less, which, if that's the case, yikes. You got the 3rd seed Nuggets against the 6th seed Timberwolves, and there was a running joke that the Nuggets were afraid of the Timberwolves. No, they're not. No, they're not. They got the best center, and I'll say it one more time for those in the back, the best center in the game of basketball today. So, the 2nd seed Spurs will play the 7th seed, whoever that may be. So, I will give you my predictions. Out of the Warriors and the Clippers, I have the Warriors winning that game and advancing into the actual NBA playoff. Suns Kings, I want to take the Phoenix Suns, and I'm going to take the Phoenix Suns. Oklahoma City, in that case, because the way I have this written out, yeah. Oklahoma City's going to demolish whoever is put in front of them, at least in the first round. I will say that much. Now, my Lakers going against the Rockets and Kevin Durant. First and foremost, Kevin Durant, buddy. I did not like you for the longest time. I respected you with your tenure on the Thunder. Then you went and you joined the freaking Warriors, ruined my 4th of July back in 2016, as of many others who weren't Warriors fans, by the way. But I've come to respect you and your game nowadays. That may be due to the fact that you are from PG County, Maryland. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. So, you know, there's that tie. However, you are going against my Lakers, and I very much do not like the fact that the Boston Celtics have 18, while the Lakers have 17. So they're like... But I'm not going to sit here and let my bias get in the way of podcasting, journalism, whatever you want to call it. So unfortunately, it does look like we might be without Luka. We might be without Austin Reeves. If that is the case, I have the Rockets advancing. Y'all can't fault me for that. I hope I'm proven wrong. I really am. Also, y'all like the jersey. It's the Minneapolis Kobe jersey, if you can't tell. I know the angle's kind of high on the camera and stuff. Shout out to my boy, my manager, my moderator. Y'all know him. where are we at now? Ah, yes, the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Now, this game could go any way. Like I said earlier in the episode, the Nuggets are afraid of the Timberwolves. No, they're not. And I have the Nuggets advancing. Now, we go to the East in their play-in journey. Heat Hornet has already happened with the Hornet winning in overtime. Hell of a game, if I may add. The Magic and the Sixers. Now, as catchy as that song that the Orlando Magic use, where it's like, Orlando Magic, Orlando Magic, Orlando Magic, whoa. It's catchy. I'll give y'all that. However, I got the 76ers winning. You know, they're using their 01 Allen Iverson inspired throwback jerseys and court for the playoffs. So I would very much like to see that. We got the Pistons. We'll be playing the 8 seed because they were the 1 seed in the East. We got the Cavaliers and the 4 seed going against the Atlanta Hawks. Now this one could go either way. It's not really much of an upset, but I'm going to call it. Something in my gut. Maybe it's intuition. Maybe it's just me trying to, do something different. I'm taking the Hawks over the Cavs. Knicks and the Raptors. Now, the Knicks are the 3rd seed, and they have had a tremendous turnaround over the past few seasons. Very interesting to see, to say the least. I do have the Knicks winning that game. And then it does look like the Celtics are the 2nd seed and will be playing the 7th seed in the East. So, all of this, is interesting to see. Like I said, I didn't go into more depth because your boy's well-versed in many sports. I will say that much. For me, it goes football, college football, basketball, baseball. You want to throw wrestling in there. Wrestling would probably be tied for 1. And I am talking like WWE, AEW, all that fun stuff. Who do I have making the NBA Finals? Now, before we get into that, we should get into why I picked my picks, right? We should talk about that. So why did I pick the Oklahoma City Thunder? Like I said, they have SGA. They have a talented roster all around. Some of the best basketball I've seen in the past few years. Why did I pick the Rockets over the Lakers? 1, they have Kevin Durant. 2, they are at full health, where the Lakers are not. Also, center. DeAndre Ayton is a decent center. But I have been clamoring for the Lakers to get a big man the likes of Pau Gasol for I don't know how many years now. And you also got to get ready for the possibility of a post-LeBron era. That's the reason we brought Luka Doncic in. We made that trade back in February of last year. The Nuggets over the Timberwolves. Now, that could go either way if I'm being 100% honest. But I did pick the Nuggets because they have the best center in Jokic. And they have given my team problems on the many occasions that they have faced them. Now, the Warriors winning over the Clippers. They have Steph Curry. The Suns over the Kings. The Kings just, they're decent. They're decent nowadays. But the Suns still, to my knowledge, have Devin Booker. Now, on the East, the Hornet over the Magic, or sorry, not the Magic, looking at something else here. The Hornet over the Heat. Now that, they got LaMelo Ball, so, and it went into overtime. Now, I was originally going to pick the Heat to win that. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Magic Sixers, I already gave my reasoning earlier in the episode for all of that. The Pistons have the 1 seed, so it's going to be hard to see many people get in their way. The Cavs over the Hawks, I went for shock value there and an upset. Knicks over the Raptors. I just wanted to see the Knicks back on top for a while. They're not my team, but my second favorite basketball player of all time, and those for y'all who are new to the channel or don't know, is Carmelo Anthony. Kobe Bryant, number 1, has been since I was a kid. Has been my favorite player since I was a kid, I should say. But Carmelo Anthony, he's from Baltimore, so that kind of shows you why I'm drawn to him as a player. And at one point he did play for the Lakers, but we don't really talk about that much. He was predominantly known for his time with the Denver Nuggets, and more so, I would argue he is a New York Knick through and through, rather than a Denver Nugget. The Celtics. Now, if I was biased, I would have them be one and done. But realistically, that's not going to happen. You got Jason Tatum. You got Jaylen Brown. Who do I have making it to the NBA Finals? Now, the Spurs. Why do I have them advancing? Yes, that's one of the teams I probably most likely have in the NBA playoffs. And part of me is hoping I'm wrong. Because for those of you who don't know, many, many moons ago, I used to do a podcast, much like this one, with my boy. My boy who I did that podcast with is a Spurs fan. And I cannot venture to see the smug and arrogant look on his face if his team is to win another championship. Now, Wembanyama might win MVP, but they might give it to SGA too. So we don't know there yet. At least at the time of this recording, I don't think we know. The Celtics. I despise. However, I respect them. Now, if it comes down to the Spurs and the Celtics like I am thinking it to, I will hold who I'm going to have win there, and we'll talk about that on another episode. But knowing what y'all know about me, the host of this channel, you should know what direction I'm going to go in. So that is stuff for episode 1. Episode 1. The NBA, round 1, I should say. Episode 79 of the Fourth Down Forum podcast. Now, things coming up on the channel. But before we get into that, what is y'all's favorite NBA Finals moment? Mine, obviously, is getting into basketball with my cousin as a kid, watching back home the Celtics and Lakers, I think, playing in the 2008 Finals, and the Celtics won that. But that is how I became a Lakers fan. And before, just a little fun fact for y'all, before Kobe Bryant was my favorite player, my favorite players on the Lakers were Dereck Fisher and Lamar Odom. Obviously, Kobe overtook that mantle, and, you know. But then, my favorite moment is not that in itself. My favorite moments after that were the Lakers winning their back-to-backs in 2009 and 2010. Now, a lot of people probably thought I was going to say the bubble ring. That does hold meaning. You know, they won it the year after Kobe died. It is a debatable ring. Now, an underrated moment, I will say, and shout out to my boy Michael. Y'all know him as well. He's the other moderator of this channel. The bloodiest NBA Finals ring belongs to Dirk Nowitzki argue with a wall. And I say argue with a wall because he had to go through a team with prime KD, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, a team with Kobe and Pau Gasol, I believe. Yeah. And the little big three in Miami. So if you're going to say that's not the most, hard-battled ring, you're wrong. Respectfully. Stuff coming up on the channel. We got the NFL schedule release coming up. I will be doing an episode on that. I do that every year, or at least I think I do. Other than that, I don't want to say it's ebb and flow because we're not just going with the flow. We are trying to have a structure here. We might do like player profile episodes. We'll do obviously more wrestling content because that's what's popular right now. Once we get into the fall, we will be picking back up pick'ems. I know I fell off with those on the channel last year. I do want to do both NFL and college pick'ems. So that would give y'all, come fall, 2 episodes a week. And, I could sit down, do that, and get that out on the channel. We are doing a giveaway once the channel hits 500 subs. Going to keep putting that out there until we hit 500 subs. The winner, obviously, will win a mini helmet of their favorite collegiate or their favorite NFL team. Other than that, I'm trying to think. Honestly, just trying to, grow the channel. I already have sponsorships. I do need to get better at working with them, and that is fault of my own. I'm going to take full responsibility there. I'm trying to grow the social media presence, so there's the TikTok page, which I believe over there we're creeping up on 600 followers. So exciting to see that. I'm trying to think of any more NBA content. Baseball content, that's not really a whole lot. The next baseball episode I'll probably do will be, if we get a chance to do it, I'm not going to make y'all any promises. It will be the, All-Star Game and then the World Series, because I have been trying to find time to do a World Series episode on the channel, because I do know I have subscribers that are fans of baseball. I'm a fan of it myself, but I much rather be in person and go to a baseball game than watch it on the TV. Thank y'all for the love. Thank y'all for the support. I appreciate it. Shout out to both my boy Pagan Prince and Panflaps, who are y'all's new moderators for the YouTube channel. So what that means is I should be able to now do lives on the channel again without any issues, because your boy, again, through fault of his own, didn't think to have moderators from the jump. And the first time we tried to go live, it was very unfortunate, to say the least, because we had people commenting stuff they should not have been commenting. And we also just had trolls, as one does when trying to do social media or stuff like this. But that said, y'all, much love. Appreciate the support. We are, I believe at the time of this recording, we are sitting at 310 subscribers. Once we get to 500, second giveaway's happening. Then at 1,000, I'll probably plan a bigger giveaway. Now, it's not going to be nothing grand like, oh, we hit this many subscribers, we're going to do tickets to like the Final Four or the Super Bowl. This channel is not there yet. Now, I have the full confidence and utmost ability to believe, as long as I keep grinding and keep pushing, we can get the channel to there where, we can work with brands and stuff like that. That said, much love, appreciate the support, and I will see y'all back here for episode 80.
Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces.